Hey everybody. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to do a nail prep and Color Street application with Charmed and Dangerous, my new favorite from the Valentine's Day collection. I'm going to prep the nails. I'm going to go through the whole process with you. Not real good at this whole camera stuff as far as the physical logistics. So when I get ready to turn the camera around, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But right now I'm just gonna prep the nails and tell you what I go through and tell you a little bit about Color Street and all that good stuff. So I thought I'd start showing you my Nakey nails. And these have been naked for a couple days. I like to sometimes let my nails rest in between. It's really important to keep a good healthy nail bed. So you know, that's where everything starts. I always research little tips and tricks. I actually personally take biotin because I have thin hair and I have thin nails, and it helps a lot. I use sometimes a biotin base coat strengthener, which is right here. You can use, you know, anything, but I also recommend, if you do have ridgy nails, like if they're ridged, if they peel easily, if they're thin, get one of these or something similar and put it on before your Color Street, and that really helps with things. So first thing you want to do is push back your cuticles, and I have a pretty basic cuticle remover here. And what I do is just, so in the shower this morning, basically I you know, I just like kind of went over my nails with a little nail scrub, or I actually use face scrub as long as it's scrubby, just to scrub a little bit. You don't want to do this application too soon after you've showered or washed dishes or put on lotion, cuticle oil, that sort of thing. So you want to wait a couple hours and make sure you wash your hands with Dawn dish soap, because that takes away all the oils, and make sure they're really dry. So if they're too saturated with moisture or too saturated with lotion, stuff like that, it can hinder the process. So I'm just kind of pushing, so I'll show you right here. So when I turn it around, you'll be able to see just my nails, but just pushing back my cuticles here. Just clean them up a little bit. Going on this side. And, you know, if you have any questions, just drop them and I'll be able to see and I'll answer while we're doing this. I just needed a really good personal video, so I thought I'd try my hand at this. So can't promise how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. So that's the first thing you want to do is push back your cuticles. And so I can tell you a little bit about Color Street while I'm doing this. Color Street, the company itself, was you know, started by Mr. Fa Park, who is a Korean immigrant, and he came to Manhattan in the 80s to be an opera singer, actually. And of course, the music and Broadway scene is incredibly fierce competition in Manhattan. So his cousin owned a nail salon, and he started working there, and he got fascinated with the culture of women, as far as, you know, nail polish and beauty and what women go through and all that stuff. And one day on the subway, he saw a woman doing her nails, painting her nails before she was going to a business meeting or wherever she was going on her way to somewhere. And he thought, you know, it's got to be a better way. So long story short, and this is all actually on my website too if you want to read the whole story. A long story short is he started trying to invent a process of dry nail polish, so that you could have a quality manicure without worrying about the smudging and chipping and that sort of thing. It just kind of fascinated him. So in doing this, he had to teach himself chemistry. He had to teach himself engineering, because he actually ultimately built a machine to produce these things. He had to teach himself electrician work to do that. So it was quite a process. So after many, many, many tries, he finally came up with something that worked, got it patented. We have over 80 patents, and started, going to different makeup companies and cosmetics companies and trying to, get backing for this product. And what happened was he was in talks with L'Oreal for a long time, and L'Oreal wanted to buy the idea for $14 million, and he refused. He said, no, thank you. Now, that's crazy, right? So what happened was he got a contract with Avon, and that produced their first $1 million. And this was like in the early 90s, I think. And then Sally Hansen, Ulta, Sephora, they all, and L'Oreal too, they all marketed Color Street nail sets under their own names in different stores and different retail settings over the years. So any of the earlier nail strips that you've seen out in the stores, like Ulta or Sephora or Walmart, we have them in, that sort of thing, are Color Street in different generations there. What happened was, after a good, long time of building the company, the marketing and Mr. Fa, he has this huge vision to bring his product to the world, and they decided that direct sales would be a great avenue for this product, which it is. It's consumable, it's fresh, it's made in the U.S., it was invented in the U.S., and so that's how the direct sales division got started. And all of the copycat nail companies you see that are popping up or out there are a copy of us, and we are the only 100% nail polish strip in the world that is made in the U.S., and the only ones that can claim that, actually. So there's a lot of copycats, and I don't know if you've tried any of those, but we always come back to Color Street because this is the quality here. So right now I'm just cleaning up these cuticles and chatting with you. So like I said, Color Street is 100% real nail polish. There's no plastics, there's no vinyl, there's no ridiculous adhesives. It is simply made of salon quality, high quality nail polish. And you don't use any heat to apply it. You don't use any tools to apply it. You peel and stick, and away you go. There's a top and bottom coat built in to each strip, and you don't even have to do any of that stuff. But the proper way to apply is to make sure your nails are prepped, and that's a nail health thing. So right now I'm just pushing back these cuticles, which are a little out of control. They're not bad, I guess, right? Not too bad. My nails used to flake terribly, and I could never keep nail polish on. But since I started using Color Street, which I've been doing since June 2018, that's when I started in the company, they've gotten stronger and they grow quite fast. And the great part about these sets is because they're nail polish and they're not like vinyl or plastic, they're breathable, so your nail is much more healthy. And you take it off with nail polish remover. You don't pick it off, you don't soak it off, anything like that, so it's not damaging to your nail bed. Okay, so then I'm going to take this here buffer, and I'm going to just going to buff the shine off my nail. And any ridges, any bumps, any flaking, any of that stuff, this is the time, during this part is where you want to make sure that's all smoothed down. The smoother the better. the better that the strip is going to adhere to your nail, and the better it's going to look, especially a solid color. Now with these strips, I've found that anything with glitter or designs are a lot more forgiving. You know, obviously the solid one colors, you have to have perfect nail beds to begin with, and then they'll be nice and smooth. So if you're worried about that at all, try a glitter. And there's some glitter that isn't too out there. There's some very fine glitters, some beautiful neutral glitters, and they're very forgiving. These also you can pick up and replace. You don't have to worry about once you stick them, they're done and you're done, and there's nothing you can do about it either. They're very, very forgiving to work with. They're easy to manipulate as far as the trimming of them. I'll show you all that when I turn this phone around and we film the actual application. So like I said, right now I'm just buffing my nail out, getting all those ridges out, any bumps I might have, anything like that. You can file them into whatever shape you want. You can clip them, whatever you want to do. So then we just bump that off. Hi, Katrina, how are ya? So I'm showing everybody how to do this application. So, okay, so what I did was I pushed back my cuticles and I buffed my nails. And so now they are ready for some colostrita, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this camera around and I'm going to try to position it without making you all sick because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Because like I said, this gooseneck phone holder I have right now, it's not the best, but I'm going to make do. This is the first time I've ever used it. So let me just see what I can do here. I'm going to try and turn you, and you're going to look into places in my face you've never want to see before. So let's see what happens. Let me turn this around first. That way you're not looking at me. And see, I have this nice little table all set. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? And I'm going to try and position things so that it's perfect for the viewing. I think I have... Oh, I've got to turn on the... There, now we have the flash on, so that's good. So, man, I think I might have got it. What do you think? Does that look good? All right. It might wiggle a little bit while I'm doing stuff. So what I recommend for your work area is a paper plate, just because the strips, the little backings and stuff can get everywhere. So I like to just put them on the paper plate. And I have a rubber tipped cuticle pusher because I like to use it to smooth out the strips after they're on, especially if you're working with solids. I have an orange stick because you use it to clean up around the edges. It's very handy. Orange sticks are awesome. Ooh, look at that. Yes, I'm fascinated. Scissors to open the package. I like to cut them straight across so that I can reseal them. And I also have a top coat, which you do or don't have to use. That's up to you. I like to throw it on there if they're not like glitter or chunky glitter. It's just to give it some extra protection from my dogs. But, I mean, you know, especially solids or, you know, the thinner solids, I feel like it's never a bad idea to have some extra protection, especially if you type a lot, if you work in the garden, that sort of thing. But some of these styles, my gosh, you'd have to sandblast them off, I swear. So there's that. Now, that's only a brand I picked up at Walmart. You could do whatever you want. There's so many brands out there. I also have a matte top coat for when I want to go matte. You can make these matte, and it's really cool, some of them. So, tip number 172. Warm house, warm hands, warm strips, okay? So, if your hands are freezing, and if your strips are freezing, sit on them, warm them up, warm your hands up, get your heat up in your house, put a little heater next to you, get a hairdryer out and warm up your hands, you know, just make sure everything's warm. You can do it on a heating pad. Some people do that. I sit on them, honestly. And this is Charmed and Dangerous, which I absolutely adore. So I'm going to open these and show you what's in the package. So you just pull a little tab, and they come out from here like this, right? So there's that. And then you get a nice Color Street nail file, which I use, and I'm going to save this for later so I can put it back in there so I know which one's there. But these come in all different kinds of little designs and stuff. I actually collect them, and they're super cute. So I'm going to use this today. You don't have to use it. You can use your own, but it's nice that they provide this for you so you can do them on the go. So let's take that out of its package. Put this over here. And the first thing you want to do is you're going to have 2 sets of 8 in here, okay? I'm not probably going to use both sets, so I'm going to try and get one set out and leave the other one in there so I can seal them back up and use them at another time. So I'm just going to cut this open like that. And what I do is kind of loosen it, and I try and hang on to the bottom set here on top and pull the top one. Sometimes it works good. Sometimes I should really take both of them out and then put one back in, because they can get caught up on each other and I don't want to rip them. So that came out okay. So I have one in the package and one here. So like I said, I tried to warm these up as good as possible. Let's see, should we be a little more like this? What do you think? Is that good? It's weird to try and do stuff upside down, actually. So I'm just trying to position the camera as best I can so everybody can see what's going on here. Hopefully that'll be good. So the first thing you want to do is, oh, I'm sorry, it's one more thing that's in the package that I didn't show you. There is an alcohol prep pad in the package right here. So what you're going to do with this alcohol prep pad is you're going to prep your fingers, and you take the alcohol and you wipe off any dirt or oil that might be on your nail, and this just helps it all adhere pretty good to your nail as well. So we'll just wipe those suckers off real good. After I put on my set, I like to do this too, just to get the fingerprints off. So then we make sure they're really, really dry. You don't want to. And then also gets the dust off from when you buff them as well. Okay, so first things first, do your thumb last. Like that. Thumbs last, because you're going to use your thumb as a tool. So you're going to want to do your thumbs last. So in the set, there's many different sizes. So you're going to kind of get to know after a while which size fits your hands. You want to probably work both hands at the same time, because you can use one set for both hands and then have the other set for another time. I know that this one is my pinky set. So this I'm going to take off, and I'm going to actually save this for like an accent later. So I'm going to put that aside. So I'll rip that part off right here. And this one's going to go on my pinky. I know that the smaller size goes on this hand. So let me just make sure I can see over the camera. There's a clear protective coat you peel off. And if you want, you can smell it. It smells just like nail polish, because that's what it is. You can see the back. And then you just peel it off its backing here. Let's see. And you can see that they're very thin and they're flexible. Right? So they're thin and flexible. And then you're going to pull off this tab, and I'm going to stick it on my paper plate. Now, I'm trying to do this awkwardly through the camera lens. So then you're going to position above your cuticle. You don't want to go over the cuticle, because that will cause it to lift, and you're going to press down all around and smooth out and go up with it. And then you're going to stretch just a little at the end. And I like to break it off with my thumb just underneath, so it kind of covers the underneath there. And we'll smooth that down. And in a second, I'll show you what to do with that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to put it on this hand. And I've learned that this is a little bigger than this pinky, because this side is a little fatter. So I'm going to position it where I usually position it so that I can clean it up and show you how that works. So I'm going to put it right like this, and I'm going to stretch it a little, and I'm going to smooth it right down, just like that. And then again, just kind of go in there like that. And I'm going to use my thumbnail again. And I'm going to push underneath here and take off the excess, just like that. You can use a nail file to do that. You don't have to use your thumb, but I think it's a lot easier to do. With solids, you want to stretch and pull over, because solids sometimes shrink a little when they're dry. Sometimes I let them cure before I do that. So then you see I have an overhang right here. So I'm going to go in with my rubber tipped cuticle pusher, and I'm going to push in just like that to make sure it's all creased and around. Oops, sorry about that. And we're going to smooth it out. And then I'm going to take this fabulous orange stick. Now you can use your thumbnail too. I'm going to take this fabulous orange stick and I'm going to go right in and literally, simply, it's so hard to do this with the camera, simply just cut with the side of the orange stick to your nail. And that will clean it right up. These are very thin, so it's very easy to just go right in and clean them up so that it fits perfect. Just like that. And then you just kind of remove that. You can use your thumbnails. Sometimes my thumb is easier to use. There you go. Just like that. See how that went? So now I have this two, and I'm going to just smooth this one out too, right here. I know this is bouncing. I apologize. I'm going to smooth that right out there. And I have two nails done. Just like that. Oops. What do you think? Alright, so we go on to the next one. And I'm going to warm up my hands a little bit. They're getting chilly. And you can even sit on these kind of in between to make sure they're nice and warm and flexible. I'm going to move this a little. Okay. This is the next one. I know that this fits my next finger. So I'm going to do the same thing. Peel off the top clear. And peel it off its backing. And peel this tab right off. Okay, and then going to position it above the cuticle. Stretch it just slightly and smooth it down just like that. And take my thumbnail and break it off underneath so that I'm wrapping the tip. See how that is? And you can smooth this later too, or just like to use my hands when they're warm. And then I'm going to turn this around and put this right onto this one. Make sure that's the right position. And I can move this a little if I need to, which looked like I needed to a little bit there. Sometimes my left hand is hard to get straight on my right hand because my hand wants to turn. So there we go. There's that one. That one fit perfectly. Just have a little bit of a piece there. And we're going to smooth that down. And you go right underneath and break it off with your thumbnail. Or you can use your nail file to file that off. And when you use your nail file to file, you want to file up and down, just like this. You don't want to go back and forth. So that's nail number 2. Oh, the animals are going at it. Crazy. So I'm going to position this again. So that's nail number 2. So I have 1 and 2 done. So we're going on to nail number 3. This is a nice soft pink. I just love it. It looks a little more white in the glare of the flash. But it is a nice soft pink. And here's this one. And this is going to be my middle finger, I think. Yep. So we're going to do the same thing. I know it's boring repeating, right? Take off the top. Take it off the backing. Do I sound like Bob Ross yet? Am I like pretty little trees This one's happy little tree over here. It's dancing in the wind. All right. And now I'm gonna position this puppy right where I think it should be. And I'm gonna stretch a little and push it down and smooth it out. And I'm gonna take my nail and go underneath there and cut it off carefully. And there we go. And turn it around. And whoops, pick that back up because it did not place right. Make sure that's placed correctly on my finger. Yep, looks good. Looks good. And then do the same thumb jobby here. This one I'll use the file. And I'll show you how to do it. See, I push that over. See how it looks like that? And then you just kind of do, oh look, it's a Valentine's Day one. I didn't even notice. Ha! You just go up and down and file the excess right off. That's what it does. See? So that's how you use the file. Learn something new every day, right? All right, we got a couple more to do. Might use the file on that one. Let's see. There we go. And this one's a nice little lip. Super cute. A little kiss. It's a little kiss. A little kiss right there. It's a kiss. I like that kiss. Okay. Same thing. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know about you, but I hate my pointer finger because my nail is like very pointy. So sometimes I have to cut it flat or else, I don't know, it's just shaped weird or something. So make sure it's not on the cuticles and you want to pull it and stretch it. This one will not wrinkle. There we go. Get this all tucked in here nicely. And we just do the thumb thing. Do the thumbnail thing. Some say, I don't have a thumbnail. How do I do that? Well, just use your orange stick. It works just as well. And there's that one. I'm going to turn around. And I'm going to do... place it correctly. That would be good, right? Do this one. Oh, dear. Do I have to use the other one? I do. Well, I screwed that one up because I ripped it. So I'm going to use this one, which I know I'm not going to need for my thumbs anyway. It's always nice to have extras just in case. So we'll try that again. And there we go. Put it above the cuticle a little better than that. I like the lips. So cute. I love this set. Charmed and Dangerous, this one is. And this one we're going to have to clean up because this one was a little too big. But that's okay. That's easy to do. So then we just stretch a tiny bit so that it doesn't wrinkle. And cut it off with a thumbnail just like this. And we'll go in there and use our pusher to crease that out. Make sure it's nice and tight. Smooth it right out. And you can use that on any of them. I go back through. And then you just take your orange stick and go right around carefully. I hope you guys can see this. Is it too blurry or are we good? And just cut off the excess nicely. Cut, all right, just like that. And oops, I know this phone is bouncy. I'm sorry. It's because I've got it anchored to the actual table that I'm using. So beggars can't be choosers, right? It's not good. This videography stuff. There, clean that up. That's just dry skin right there. That'll go away. All right, looking good, looking good. Looking good. See my little dry skin there. Huh. Camera adds 10 pounds, right? And now I've got 2 left, and usually, me personally, I use the big side of this one for my left thumb, which is my smaller hand, and I use the small side of this one for my right thumb, which is my larger hand. And it looks like my 2 thumbs are going to be different this time. Sometimes they're the same, these two, sometimes they're different, and that's okay, I don't mind. But if you do mind, you know, you can always use the one from this set and then put this back in for another time, you know, that sort of thing. But I think I like them different, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, by the way, the bigger side is the one near the tab. So, last one, removing the clear, removing it from its little backing, pulling the tab, and then we're going to place it, get that out of the way, place it right down and, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to reposition that again. See? Sometimes I pick them up 3 or 4 times. And that's really nice too. It makes it a lot easier to work with than being so scared that the minute you put it down, you're not going to be able to pick it back up. And it has to be there forever. So, same. A little bit of a stretch. Just, oh, see that one? I'm going to use the file for that side. And that's okay. Everything's going to be okay. All right. Last one is going to be my other thumb. And I'll show you. All right. And now I'm going to use the small side for this. So I'm not going to bother taking the tab off. And this one, I think I do clean this one up too. So let me just, my thumbs are kind of wonky. Let me position this properly here. This set just went on like butter. I want you to know. Just like butter. Just like butter. Okay. My last thumb, I have to be really careful because I'm using this as a tool and I already have a strip on there, so just be a little bit careful with it and it's fine. You'll be fine. Or if you want to use the cuticle stick for that, you can. But yep, this one I have to clean up again. So let me just take my cuticle stick and go right along there. My orange stick. I get these in bulk because I love them. I use them for everything. And let's see here. And like I said, after you're done, you can throw a little top coat on if you want. They have gel effect top coats. They have quick dry top coats. They have whatever. You don't have to. It's up to you. Or if you want to add a little bit of glitter, you can add Tiny and Shiny or Shangri-La, maybe, to give it a little bit of bling. You can do some nail art. What's this one? This one looks like it needs a little help here. This one, I got that one over the cuticle a little bit, so I'm just going to clean that up. That's very easy to do. Sometimes you go back and you think, oh, look what I did. Didn't push that back enough. Just tuck it in there. It'll work just fine. And they are dry and smudge free, and in 30 minutes will be cured completely. So tip number 370,000. Do not do dishes, take a shower or bath, put on cuticle oil or any lotion for a good hour or 2 after application. So tell your husband he has to do the dishes and take you out to dinner. Or go to bed. Sometimes people do this before bed. But, and that's that. That's my Charmed and Dangerous application. What do you think? I love it. I'm very happy with this. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to look at you with my big chins. Ready? Hi! So that was it. That was my application, and I hope it answered some questions. And if you have any questions, let me know. Just drop them below. I'm happy to answer, and I thank you for watching. So happy color streeting. You're going to love your new nails.